Some things just don't make sense, like how do your parents know when you're lying? How do some people still believe that the earth is flat? And how on earth did Michael Ricketts get an England cap? So which free transfer raised eyebrows? Which player's career has taken a sharp upward turn? And which player made more than one move in the space of a week and a half? Well, I'm here to answer all those questions as I bring you my 7 ridiculous transfers of the summer in the Premier League. First off, we start off one of 3 goalkeepers on this list whose career was pretty much on a downward spiral ever since his horror show in the 2010 World Cup. Up until now, that is. He spent the last few seasons getting relegated with QPR, playing for Leeds in the Championship, and then failing to make a single appearance at Huddersfield last season. So how on earth has Rob Green managed to bag himself a move to Chelsea at the solid age of 38? Well, if you thought that Chelsea were doing something bad by keeping on an aging goalkeeper in Willy Caballero, they've gone and signed another one. Can you imagine if their number 1 gets injured, if Willy Caballero fails to find form, and Rob Green is forced to take his place a year on from his last senior appearance in the Championship? Yeah, that's what I thought. Pretty nuts. Now, next up on the list is a midfielder whose transfer wasn't that shocking because of the price tag or even because of his ability, but it's because of the club that he moved to. Now, no disrespect to Fulham fans intended, but last summer Jean-Michel Seri was being linked with a move to Barcelona. At the start of this summer he could have moved to Arsenal or Chelsea. So you can imagine the surprise when he ended up signing for Fulham. Now, he did actually head to West London amidst rumours that he was signing at Stamford Bridge. However, he then made the move to Fulham, probably upon seeing what a state Chelsea was in. They didn't even know whether their manager was staying or whether some of their key players were leaving or not. And we now head back to the goalkeeper area where we have another player whose career trajectory has taken more than an upward turn and probably a more impressive one than Rob Green. To give you some facts about who this player is, he made his debut in the Premier League at age 33 during a 2-year spell with Stoke which saw them get relegated. So now it's pretty crazy to see that Lee Grant has managed to bag himself a move to Manchester United at the age of 35. To be honest, this transfer will probably see the younger generations of Man United goalkeepers get more first-team experience going out on loan, as they're unlikely to overtake David De Gea. But for Lee Grant, I guess it's a dream come true, and again, a pretty crazy transfer. The huge eyebrow raiser in this list is a free transfer. Yes, that's right, a free transfer that is usually a no-risk kind of deal and is often seen as a good piece of business. However, Crystal Palace getting this free transfer means they had to commit to a staggering amount of money on the player's weekly wages. After rejecting Schalke's new contract and failing to commit to the club, Max Meyer has found his financial heaven in Crystal Palace of all places. He's moved from a Champions League club to a perennial relegation-threatened club in South London. However, the contract which he has signed sees him earn around £180,000 a week. This puts him level with the likes of Aubameyang and Virgil van Dijk when it comes to weekly earnings. But he's not quite at the level of Pogba, Hazard or even Aguero just yet. Either way, this deal is absolutely mental. Now finally we reach the last goalkeeper on this list, and someone who you wouldn't have thought would interest a team with European ambitions in their sight. Let's be honest, West Ham have made some big name transfers this summer. They've signed European quality players like Jack Wilshere, Andrei Yarmolenko and Felipe Anderson. So to add Lucas Fabianski on that list of transferred in players seems a bit odd. Don't get me wrong, it's a great move for him, but for a team with those ambitions to bring in a keeper who's 33 years old and has also spent the last few seasons fighting relegation with Swansea, succumbing to it last year, it seems like they could have done a bit of better transfer business. However, re-signing Joe Hart definitely wasn't the way forward, so I guess Fabianski will do. Now, although the summer transfer window means that players usually move club, it doesn't often mean that they move clubs twice, especially not within the space of a few days. Well, it's definitely one of the weirdest transfer sagas on this list. However, Benicofobie's latest career move makes some real interesting pub quiz ammo. Basically, Wolves signed Benicofobie from Bournemouth after a successful spell on loan at Molineux at the end of last season, but their intention was to make a quick profit on him. Hence, 11 days later, he ended up signing for Stoke. The initial deal was a loan deal, however they have an obligation to buy him in January, which would bring Wolves' profit to a total of around £2 million. Not really much in today's money. And lastly on this list, we come to hands down the most ridiculous transfer of the summer. Now, if you're a manager or a senior official at a club, and someone says to you, hey, do you want to sign this player? He had a good start to the season, scoring 5 goals, but he dropped off a bit at the end. He's only played 1 year in the Premier League and signed for £11 million last summer. You'd be pretty restricted about how much you'd pay for him. Well, Everton, please take to the stand. They, for some reason, have paid $50 million for Watford's Richarlison. Now, I'm not doubting he's not a talented player, but he hasn't really got the record to prove it. Also, if you look at that kind of money spent, they could have bought Malcolm, who signed for Barcelona for 36 million, or even last summer, where Liverpool spent just 33 million on Mo Salah. That's some pretty impressive company that he's got to keep up with. That by far makes this deal absolutely outrageous. So there you have it, my top 7 ridiculous transfers of the summer in the Premier League. But what do you guys think? Do you think I'm being a bit harsh on some of these, or who else would you have had in there? Let me know in the comment section below, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.